So in tonight's video, I want to talk to you guys real quick about why, as a man, you need to always demonstrate emotional restraint, and you always need to understand that you reacting to a situation is not good. It's not going to benefit you or the other person. Okay? And a lot of guys get this wrong because what they'll do is they'll send these long paragraph text messages to either their girlfriend or their wife or whoever it is, because a lot of times this happens in dating, and I've seen this time and time again where they sit there and they over explain and they overreact to every little situation. And the best thing to do in a situation where you're having an argument with your girlfriend or having an argument with your wife or your significant other is to do absolutely nothing. Okay, it's to do absolutely nothing. Don't react. Don't send a text. Don't send a voice note. Don't call her a million times. Don't do anything. Because women look at men as the rock that they need to basically crash their emotional waves into. So if you become basically like a woman where you are emotional, because men are more logical and women are more emotional, and that's not me saying that women are bad. I'm saying that that's just how it is. Women are more emotional and men are more logical, so we have different ways of thinking. So when you start to get to her level where you start becoming more emotional, she doesn't know how to handle that. It's not that she's not smart, or that doesn't understand emotions and stuff like that. It's just she needs you to be grounded and to stay in your masculine frame. And the only way to do that is if you do not react and you do not freak out whenever you have an argument with your girlfriend or whenever something bad happens. You stay grounded at all times. You keep your composure, okay? And you don't have to respond right away. You don't have to sit there and respond to a text message right away just because somebody sends you one, just because a girl sends you a message. It might be something that you don't like. It might be something that you don't really know how to respond to. And that's okay, but you don't need to get into this emotional banter with her and saying all these things. And I just can't tell you how many times I've seen messages between a guy and a girl where the girl will send them something, and then the guy will get so worked up and he'll send this long paragraph text message saying, "I can't believe that you would do this, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, don't ever do that. Okay? And trust me when I tell you, I used to do this. I used to do this when I was younger. I would send these long text messages because it's not going to help the situation. Okay, you sending those long paragraph text messages are not going to help your relationship. They're not going to help her understand more. What she needs to see is that you are not moved by her responses. She needs to see that you are not moved by it, because once she sees that I can't affect this guy, I can't move this guy off course, off of his purpose, then she's going to understand that this guy is different. Because women like to test. They like to test and make sure, because I don't want to say that this isn't a bad thing. This is what needs to happen. Okay, the woman is going to test you, and she is going to make it seem like she wants you to respond. But what you need to understand is that by you not responding, you're actually doing exactly what you need to do as a man. Okay? Stay grounded and don't respond. And then if you want to send a response maybe the next day, that's okay too. But there's a saying, and it's an acronym that I didn't make up, but I heard somebody say this online. It's called HALT. Okay, never make a decision when you're hungry, angry, tired, or lonely or tired. And the reason why they say that is because when you're in any of those states, you're not thinking clearly. You're not thinking logically. And especially in dating, and the reason why I bring up dating is because this happens a lot between men and women, okay? And the men don't know how to react because they either didn't learn or they're basically conditioned by, old patterns and old habits. So I'm telling you guys, I'm speaking only from experience. I'm telling you that this will absolutely help you when you're in a relationship. This will absolutely help your dating life if you start doing these things when you're talking to women. Okay, don't get emotionally riled up because it's not worth the argument. It's not worth, and it doesn't mean that you might be right and you might have said something that, maybe it triggered her in a way, but the thing is, if you don't know how to respond to these situations, she is not going to have any respect for you. That's just the bottom line. Okay? And I'm sure that people are going to disagree with me on this, but I just can't tell you how much this has helped me over the years, especially in dating, by not getting emotionally charged by something that a girl says or something. Even honestly, you could pertain this to business too. Like if somebody says something you don't like, the worst thing you can do is get emotional about it. Okay, the worst thing that you can do is get emotional because emotions never lead to anything good. You always want to think things through. You always want to think logically. Because by thinking things through and maybe not responding so quickly, and maybe not, saying what it is that you really want to say at that moment, you're going to allow yourself to have mental clarity. And that's what you want. You want that in dating. You want that in your business. You want that in your personal life with any kind of relationship. I'm only using the dating as an example because it just makes the most sense, honestly. Okay? The men to woman dynamics are completely different, and you have to understand that when you stay emotionally grounded and you stay non-reactive, you're basically telling her that you are somebody that cannot be moved off center. And that's a really, really good thing. That's what you want in a relationship. That's the dynamic that you want. Okay? So I'm not saying that you can't disagree, and I'm not saying that you can't ever have an argument, but just understand you don't have to have the last word. You don't have to sit there and try to be right about whatever situation it is. Okay? My dad used to tell me all the time, you can be right or you can do the right thing. And the right thing in this situation is to do absolutely nothing. It's to do nothing until you've decided that you're ready to respond. And sometimes the best answer is no answer. Sometimes the best response is no response. Because in certain situations, you're not going to get anywhere in the conversation. So the best thing to do is to not say anything and just let the conversation breathe. You want the conversation to breathe so that you both have some space and you both have some time to have clarity. Okay, that's what you want in any relationship, especially when you're dating, and especially if you have a girlfriend or even when you have a wife. Okay, don't ever try to change her mind about anything. Don't ever try to sit there and tell her what it is that she should do and this and that. Feel free to share your opinion, but don't ever try to change the way that she thinks about a certain situation, because it's never going to work. Okay, she is thinking a certain way. She is thinking emotionally, and you are thinking logically. The two go together like peanut butter and jelly. But you can never change her mind and change her into thinking that this is right and this is wrong. You have to just let her do her thing, and then you just stay back and just let the conversation breathe. That's all you can do. I'm not saying that I'm some kind of dating expert. What I'm trying to say is that the number one thing that I've learned over the years in dating or just in life in general is to always stay emotionally grounded, to never get too riled up about a situation. And that goes for anything. That goes for any situation. Okay, somebody makes you mad, I want you to think what I just said before. Halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And if you're any four of those, I mean, and you could be anything and still be emotional. But what I'm saying is that you don't ever want to make an emotional decision, okay? Because it's never going to turn out well. You're never going to get the desired outcome. In the moment, it feels great. Like, yeah, I'm going to tell that person. But in reality, it never works out well. And I can't tell you how many opportunities I've lost and how many things that could have been avoided, how many situations could have gone better if I had just thought things through instead of getting emotionally charged, instead of yelling and getting mad. And I just, it's almost embarrassing to think about. But I just want you guys to have a better time, especially in dating, because stuff like this is going to help you tremendously in your dating life. Okay? And I'll touch on more dating stuff in the future, but right now I just want you guys to understand the fundamentals of just being a man and just understand what it means to be a grounded and emotionally intelligent man. Okay? And another thing too, before I get off here, is I don't want you guys to be mistaken when you see videos online about being vulnerable and crying and all these things. There's a time and a place to be vulnerable, and there's a time and a place to cry and be upset, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the things that I'm seeing on social media about how, it's okay to break down in front of your girlfriend and stuff like that, or in front of your wife, don't take this advice. This is terrible advice. Okay, it benefits nobody. It's okay if you're having a hard time. It's okay if you're not where you want to be and you tell your girlfriend or you tell your wife, I'm having a hard time and I'm, working through it. But to sit there and to cry and to tell her how sad you are and basically become this victim, this like just pathetic guy, don't ever do that. Okay? You're a man and you need to make sure that you're taking care of things, that you're taking charge of the situation and taking charge of your life. There's nothing wrong with talking about it and telling somebody that you're having a hard time, but you need to take control of your life and you need to tell yourself that I'm handling it and tell the people around you that you're handling it. Okay? Don't ever break down in front of a girl like that. I just would not recommend that at all. If you do it, then whatever, it's your life. But I can tell you from personal experience, this never turns out well. Okay, she is going to look at you like you are a weak man that doesn't have his shit together. And this has nothing to do with money. This has nothing to do with status. This can happen at any level. But you guys need to understand this, because there's too many men that are weak and they're just not emotionally controlled. They're lashing out and they're just not doing the things that they need to do. Okay? And I know this from personal experience, and I know this from talking to so many different guys about these same things that I'm talking to you guys about. So I want you guys to just think about that and take it to heart. And, if there's any other videos that you guys want me to make, if there's any topics that you guys want me to talk about, I want you to leave a comment and let me know, or send me a DM on any of my socials, and I'm happy to make a video on it. But I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I guess I'll talk to you guys soon. All right?